Leiden, and welcome to the long-awaited latest edition of WLTV. I'm the Palindrome Hannah.
And I'm Alana Johansson, not a palindrome. And happy National Boy Scout Day. Make sure you do a good deed today to earn your merit badge.
I know I'll be nodding along with that segment. We have Araceli earning her journalism badge by profiling Leiden's family's consumer sciences that offer on-site experiences.
Hi, I'm Araceli, and I'm here to talk about classes offered here at Leiden that give you hands-on experience with different careers. Here we have Ms. Thomas, the Director Chair of Family and Consumer Science. Ms. Thomas, what are the benefits of taking a class that offers hands-on experience?
The benefits of taking a class with any hands-on experience, not just in the Family and Consumer Sciences department, but anywhere, is just that you get to actually interact with the material, and whatever it is you're exploring, you're actually getting to try it in real time, not waiting until you get into the career in college to do so.
What are the classes that offer on-site?
In my department in Family and Consumer Sciences, we have hotel and travel, so that's at O'Hare Airport for the travel portion, and then at different hotels in Rosemont. And then we also have Taste of Teaching, where you're on-site in different local elementary schools. We have a preschool program here where you have the preschoolers, and then we also have medical careers where you're exploring all the different jobs in the medical profession.
When a student goes on-site, do they actually get an actual experience on what the job looks like?
I would say yes. So in all of our classes, they are actually working with professionals in the field and shadowing them and actually getting to do some of their jobs. So 100% yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Thomas. And Travel. Here we have Giselle Chavez, a student who took this class. So Giselle, what was your favorite part about taking this class?
My favorite part about taking this class was being able to fly a plane, because I actually learned how to fly a plane before learning how to drive a car, so that's kind of cool.
What are some places you went to?
Some places we went to was the Hyatt Hotel, the Marriott Hotel, many Hilton hotels, and we went to American Airlines a lot.
And lastly, would you recommend this class?
Yes, I do recommend this class because it's a cool experience seeing all the different kinds of hotels, all the prices, and how cool they look. And you just get to realize how many different types of hotels we have around us.
Okay, thank you, and back to the studio.
Thanks, Araceli. Looks like a great experience for students to get while still in school and a great way to learn about more careers.
That's right. I saw a bunch of unfamiliar faces in the hallway this Wednesday. Here's Omar about Ask the Expert Day.
Good morning, West Leiden. Today we'll be interviewing Ms. O'Connor, asking about the Ask the Expert Day. So you were a student at Leiden. How would you take advantage of Ask the Expert Day?
You know, I think it's really important that the students listen to the experts, because there's a lot of opportunities out there that they may not even know about. And if the expert offered their contact information to follow up with them, do that, because building your network early is only going to be helpful for you to find jobs in the future.
What's the biggest advice you'd give to an underclassman who still hasn't chosen their career?
I would say to keep an open mind, because you may think you know what you want to do, or you may feel like you have no idea, and either way you're just kind of not thinking about it. Just keep an open mind. You never know when an idea is going to pop in your head that's going to change what your future looks like.
Now we'll be going in on one of the experts, Principal Modi from Northsig Middle School.
Thank you for having me, West Leiden, and this is my story. So this is my house, right? So, do you remember I lived in a one-room house 30 years ago, right? Rats and roaches. So I live in a 6-bedroom, 5-bath house. But it's a product of, right? It's really a product of hard work, right? I dreamed about living in a big house. I dreamed that my kid never sees a roach. I dreamed that my kid never has a mouse crawling on him. Right? But those were the 5-to-1 nights when I was working at Jewel Bagging Groceries and writing a check to Oakton Community College. Those were the rewards for all the hard work. I've had 6 graduations. I never invited my parents to any of my graduations, other than the last one. And I never did because I was so ashamed of my GPA and so ashamed of not being a good kid that I didn't want my parents to know that I was a reflection of them. So I just made excuses. I never told them about graduation. I just went, got myself. And then I finally, for this time, right, 2012, I told my parents, hey, I'm getting my doctoral degree. Can you come see me graduate? And that was the first time in their life that my parents saw me walk across the stage. And it was the best moment because I saw my mom and dad actually crying because they had never seen me walk across the stage. So it's a lot of work, a lot of process, and in the meantime, I earned my superintendent's endorsement. So I can now be a superintendent of a school, and that's kind of what I want to do next in the next few years. Now I'll give you the best example. that it's not about perfection, but it's about excellence, right? When you go see a doctor, how many have been here to see a doctor? Okay. The rest of you have never seen a doctor? All right. So when you go see a doctor, right, and it says doctor, so I'll talk about a medical doctor, right? When you go see a medical doctor, how come they don't post their test score by their name? How come it doesn't say Dr. Modi, 100% on my medical exam? Because would you go see that doctor if they got a 70% on their medical exam? No. But what do you call a person who got a 70 on their medical exam? What? A doctor. Right. They may have just passed by 1 point, but you still call them a doctor. Right? So it's not about perfection, right? If you ever expect perfection of yourself, you're going to be in for a lot of failure. But expect excellence.
Wow, I saw a principal from North Lake Middle School, and it was super inspiring.
With all those e-learning days last week, we decided to investigate the pros and cons of taking online
Technology
classes.
is everywhere, and it may be our new form of education. In fact, 1 in 4 students in college now take an online course, and there are no signs of it slowing down. Between 2012 and 2016, the total number of students strictly studying on a physical campus dropped by more than 1 million, or 6.4%. We talked to Dr. Mandarino, Director of Curriculum and Instructions, to give us an insight on what life would be like if online classes existed at Leiden.
With over 5.8 million students taking online classes and having technology being a big part of today's society, do you think there's a possibility that Leiden will implement online courses?
I think we see online as a growing option among a number of different educational changes that come in terms of the way courses are delivered. So, for example, currently we do have an independent physical education class, which many of the components are managed through online. Students do meet during the period 0 hour, but only at the beginning of the year and through some check-ins.
Is it easier to plan an online course rather than a face-to-face course?
So teaching online is actually quite different than teaching face-to-face. I've taught some online classes for Northern Illinois University, and one of the things that we needed to go through was some training in how to develop the online course platform, some of the expectations for students themselves of understanding how much time commitment is needed for an online course. So I think one of the things that is different about online instruction is a lot of the planning has to be very meticulously done up front.
With online being an independent workspace, do they have a mentor to ask for help?
So it depends on how you design the online course. I mean, certainly with a lot of the technology, online courses are able to have perhaps virtual online office hours where there's a time where the teacher is available and students can check in and whether that be through a Google Hangout or something like that, right? And can go in and out of rooms. It depends on the platform you're using. Sometimes they'll even create small little breakout rooms for groups of students to meet together.
What are the benefits of having the option to pick online courses?
I think, one of the benefits is greater flexibility for students. So it potentially frees up a schedule, allows students to take additional coursework or to be able to take that coursework at different times during the day.
And now, our very own Leiden Eagle, Chris Perez, talked to us about his views on online classes versus face-to-face classes.
All right. My name is Chris Perez. I am a senior here at West Leiden, and I'm in AP Research. My topic is on music, and my specific study that I'm doing is the difference of musicality between students who use YouTube videos to learn music techniques versus students who use formal lesson training to learn those same techniques.
Are you against or for having online classes?
I actually do really like online courses. There are some flaws to it, but I think online courses are very good just because they're very accessible and it's really easy just to get.
Chris, you have a couple of AP classes at Leiden. Do you believe if it would be harder to learn the topic if it was online rather than face-to-face?
I think, me personally, it would be a little bit harder if my classes were online. I did have digital literacy online the summer going into my sophomore year, and I hated every second of it, honestly, just because it didn't fit my style of learning, but I kind of needed it. I kind of needed the credit. So personally, some things that are taught online can be taught very well, such as things like digital literacy. Digital literacy is taught in such a way online that it's just easy to learn. However, I guess in my case, in my topic of music, it's a little different just because the techniques and nuances that there is to even how to hold a guitar vary from person to person. And there is technically a right way to do that. And some videos and some courses don't really address that.
Courses can be very easy and very accessible, but very complicated at times. So now, should we implement online courses versus face-to-face classes? That's going to be up to you to decide. And now, back to the studio.
Thanks, Chewy and Junior. And I would like to give a reminder that next Thursday, February 14th, there will be a photo booth in the lunchroom, so you can go take pictures with your friends.
And that's all we have for you today, Leiden. And don't forget,
Go Eagles!
What?
And we say Go Eagles softly.
Hey, look, I want the mic in there.
Go Eagles! Go Eagles!
Technology is everywhere, and it may be our new form of education. In fact, 1 in 4 students in college now take an online course, and there are no signs of it slowing down. Between 2012 and 2016, oh my god, 2012 and 2016, am I stupid?